Did you know that even though there are tens of thousands of words in the English language, you really only need about 3,000 of them to say anything you need to say? I'm teaching 3,000 words in 3,000 days. Stick with me and you'll get a new word every day. However is another word for in any way possible. I don't care how you do it, just however you do it is fine. In any way possible, and I really don't care. However you learn it, however you do it is good. Some synonyms for however are still, nevertheless, yet, or nonetheless. So we would use the word however to contrast ideas. If you are reading and you see however, it's the same as but. I wanted to go for a walk, however, it started raining. Here, however, introduces a contrast between two statements. It can be placed at the start of the sentence or in the middle, and it's often set with commas. It can mean in whatever way. It's less formal. So however you decide to approach the problem, make sure you document your steps. In this sentence, however means in whatever manner. I really don't care how you do it, but however you choose to do it, please document. And it functions as a conjunction. However can be so it's a contrast word, and it can show and something unexpected or surprising. The cake looked perfect. However, it tasted terrible. This use of however adds a slightly dramatic or evaluative connotation. It highlights the difference between it looked perfect, it tasted terrible. We've got a good, we've got a bad. However is in the middle. And you can use this, however, to help you understand. For example, if you are reading a sentence and you understand this first part and you don't understand the last part, but there's a however, you know the however is signaling that this last part will be the opposite of the first part. That's a reading technique that will help you get meaning from context instead of always needing to look words up when you're reading. So, mid-sentence contrast. She studied hard for the exam. She did, however, forget to review the last chapter. She studied hard for the exam. She did, however, forget to review the last chapter. Now, notice here, placing however mid-sentence makes it a contrast. Also, notice this sentence. We usually don't use a helping verb in a positive statement like this unless we are, unless we are emphasizing. So if I say, she did forget the last chapter. Now I'm admitting to something. I could say, she forgot the last chapter. That is a neutral statement. She forgot the last chapter. If I put this with the helping verb, did, she did forget the last chapter. Now I've changed. It's no longer neutral. Now I'm reminding you, she did this and it wasn't good. I'm changing the connotation. She did forget the last chapter. It has a slightly different meaning. Well, the meaning is the same, but it has a slightly different, now I'm blaming, she did forget the last chapter, remember? And then if I put the however in, she did, however, forget the last chapter. Now I'm pointing out the contrast between she studied really hard. She did, however, forget the last chapter. Okay, so those are the parts. And when you put the helping verb in a positive declaration like this, you are using that to emphasize. You're not using it just to show past tense. You could do that with just the verb. However can mean to whatever extent. However hard I try, I can't seem to finish this puzzle. Here, however intensifies the statement and emphasizes the degree of effort. However hard I try, I can't seem to to finish this puzzle. Notice that we're still contrasting. However is a contrasting word, and when you see it, you know to expect a contrast somewhere. We do the same thing with the other words like whenever, wherever, whatever, however. So I wouldn't say there's a real opposite, but you should know that those other whenever, whatever, those others work the same way. Whenever she goes to the store, then something happens. You can use it in the same way with the commas, and some of them don't mean contrast like however does. So however is a conjunction. We use it as a conjunction.
I really hope that you enjoyed this word. Use it 5 times today, write it down, commit it to memory, and I'll see you in the next lesson.